the last 3 weeks, we've looked at 3 places in the gospel where Jesus took bread and he blessed it and he broke it and he gave it. This is the pattern he uses to use us for his glory. Welcome to Lakewood Church of the Ozarks in Branson, West Missouri, a spirit-filled, Bible-believing church for the entire family. The first time Jesus took bread in his hands and blessed it was the feeding of 5,000. Ultimately, this was not about a boy who gave his lunch, nor about the disciples who learned a very valuable lesson that day. This is about Jesus, the generous host. Notice how in this story continues that the crowd followed him. Luke 9 says, when the crowds figured it out, they followed him. He welcomed them, spoke to them about God's kingdom and healed them who were sick. Jesus is the host. Jesus, he's the one that welcomed the people. He taught the people. Jesus healed the people and he fed the people. Jesus is the one that prepared the feast. Not only is Jesus the one who welcomed the people, Jesus feeds them. Jesus, there is always an abundance. There is more and more and more. Grace is always more. Luke chapter 9 says, everyone ate until they were full, and the disciples filled 12 basketfuls with leftovers. Jesus, he turned a desolate place into a place of abundance. That's what Jesus does. And so the question is, do we see it? Do we see the world as Jesus sees the world? You have to wonder if Jesus really saw their location as remote or desolate. Or did he really know that whatever and wherever he went, there was a blessing and a fullness and a glory of God? In Luke 22, the second time Jesus takes the bread into his hands and blesses it, he breaks it and gives it, is the story of the Passover. And taking the bread and giving thanks, Jesus broke it and he gave it to his disciples, saying, "This is my body, which is given for you. Do this in remembrance of me." The sin and suffering God did not prevent in your life are not beyond his capability to redeem. Because when God breaks us from our past, when he breaks us of our own self-will, then what God does is he redeems us. He blesses us and he redeems us. He has the power to make his blessing come to pass over and against any of our suffering or mistakes of our past. God, the Creator, blesses. God, the Redeemer, carries the blessing to its completion, even though the brokenness that comes. To be broken is to be open to the grace of God. When you place your brokenness into Jesus' hands, it becomes openness. It is brokenness that opens us up to the very grace of God. The goal is to let the grace of God redeem, restore, and repair our lives. When he was at the table with them, he took the bread and blessed it, broke it, and gave it to them. And their eyes were opened, and they recognized him, and he vanished from their sight. They said to each other, "Did not our hearts burn within us while he talked to us on the road, while he opened to us the scriptures?" This is the third time that Jesus uses the pattern of blessed, broken, given in the story of the Gospels. This is a moment of mission. This is Jesus blessing bread to open the eyes of the people who were disillusioned and downcast. In a way, this is the story that shows that being blessed, broken is given is for the sake of the world, not just ourselves and not even just the church. So in view of God's mercy, we will offer ourselves to Him today. Will you let Jesus send you into the world as the Father has sent Him? Will you ask Him to give you life to the world around you? Let us pray and prepare our lives to commune with Him today. Father, thank you for blessing us, breaking us, and giving us to the world around us. Now we are surrendered to you. This is Pastor Cecil W. Todd of Lakewood Church of the Ozarks in Branson, West Missouri, a Spirit-filled, Bible-believing church for the entire family.